not yet be through, but there's already been some incredibly hilarious content. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today, we're counting down our picks for the top 10 funniest videos that broke the internet in 2020 so far. For this list, we'll be looking at videos that made us laugh out loud this year, whether they were intentionally created to be comical or not. Number 10. Samuel L. Jackson's PSA, Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Keep your ass at home.
Early on in the quarantine, while filming the show from home, Jimmy Kimmel invited Samuel L. Jackson to join him virtually for an interview. Of course, the two discuss how their individual pandemic experiences are going, but the best part comes when Jackson decides to give a little public service announcement to the viewers.
Thank you for doing your part to flatten the curve, because that is steep.
Known for the foul language he often uses in his movies, Jackson doesn't hold back when reading from a book entitled Stay the F*** at Home. Of course, the whole bit is censored, but it doesn't really make much of a difference.
Be it.
Number 9. Jimmy Fallon's Daughter Interruption. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Since so many of us are working from home during the pandemic, any of us with kids have experienced the difficulties of trying to get our jobs done while simultaneously parenting. Celebrities are no exception, and when Jimmy Fallon was interviewing Russell Wilson and Ciara, he had a little interruption himself.
So there's a lot of things that are going on.
Daddy,
and
I lost my tooth.
Wait, hold on, come here right now. Sorry. What? What do you mean? Show me. Wait, this is big news, guys. Just tell them what happened.
What happened? Yeah!
You did what?
She lost her tooth!
Oh, wow.
His young daughter suddenly appeared on screen, announcing that she had just lost a tooth, although the word lost is a bit of a stretch since her mom actually pulled it out for her. Fallon was also making us laugh even before the quarantine started, when he momentarily thought he was being called out for incorrectly using the term drag queen with RuPaul.
Ruth Paul.
Ruth Paul.
Yeah, I know, but this was gigantic. This is the first time a drag queen has ever been put on the cover
A drag queen? A drag queen. I am the queen of drag.
Number 8. Ja Rule's ad for a Greek deli. When an ad appeared online in June of 2020 featuring Ja Rule repping an establishment called Papa Christo's Greek Deli, viewers were simultaneously confused and delighted.
They got tzatziki. Hold on. Octopi tequila. Well, whatever, but it's good.
Ja Rule has been involved with some bizarre products in the past, but it turns out that this clip was actually a promo for the new TBS show Celebrity Show Off. In what is being marketed as a quarantine-centric variety show, celebs will face off creating content from home to see who can make the funniest video.
Show them what you working with, Papa. Show them how you do it.
We've gotta say, this entry by Ja was so bizarre that it's in the running for our favorite already.
Opa!
Number 7. Mystery Mask Report.
A lot of snow has certainly fallen and has fallen. If you take a look at the ground, you can see it's covered.
Things were so much simpler before we descended into global chaos. Back in February, reporter Justin Hinton of News 13 was reporting on the weather and road conditions in Madison County. The phone that was being used to film the segment accidentally had a filter turned on that added a wide variety of ridiculous cartoon images to the report. Hinton was oblivious the entire time, as his image was covered with hats, googly eyes, and a variety of costumes, causing the story to make it to national news. Thankfully, he wasn't reporting on something more grave.
Wow, there are special effects on the phone. Well, we weren't trying to.
Number 6. Speaking Moistly. World leaders have been under a lot of pressure in 2020, often giving daily press conferences to give updates on the ongoing COVID-19 situation. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was likely burnt out by early April when he answered questions from reporters on the safety benefits of mask wearing.
It protects others more than it protects you because it prevents you from breathing or speaking moistly on them.
While admitting that he wasn't a health expert, he attempted to explain how masks could be helpful, saying that they would protect others if you were to, quote, speak moistly.
It prevents you from speaking moistly. Speaking moistly.
He immediately realized that the phrase was a strange one, and before long, the bit had been remixed into a surprisingly catchy song.
Speaking moistly. Speaking moistly.
Number 5. Running Javelina. As the pandemic unfolded and people around the world began to lock down at home, there were many images and videos of wild animals who had seemingly expanded their habitat and were wandering city streets. This video was from February, however, and featured a pig-like creature running through the streets of Tucson, Arizona. The animal in question is actually a javelina. The short video, captured by real estate agent Damian Alexander and later shared by local TV reporter Hannah Teed on Twitter, brought delight to many who viewed it. As the year continued to unfold, this little piggy represented a real mood. All of us who desperately wanted to sprint away from 2020 as fast as possible. Number 4, the Butthole Song.
I wonder what's inside your heart. Maybe there's astronauts and maybe there's aliens.
People have been spending a lot more time with their kids in 2020, and perhaps they've seen sides of them they were previously unaware of. Twitter user Lisa Rifle posted a video in May of a song her daughter had created called I Wonder What's Inside Your Butthole. Yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. The tune is surprisingly well written and creative, though the little girl's guitar skills may be somewhat lacking.
I wonder what's inside your butthole. I wonder what's inside your butthole.
The popularity of the tune prompted the young songwriter to record a full-length version with much higher production value. We're anxiously awaiting her full-length album.
What's inside your butthole? I always wanna know. What's inside your butthole? I always wanna know.
Number 3, Mummy Voice. Back in January, the New York Times published an article about scientists who managed to use a 3D printer to recreate the voice of a mummy that had been dead for 3 millennia. The single sound they created is funny in its own right, sounding a bit like a bleating sheep. But in July, Twitter user Kilola shared a post that had taken a news clip about the story and altered the voice at the end. Instead of the pitiful bleating, a loud scream was heard instead. The unexpected yell inevitably made viewers laugh out loud, especially because it kind of represented how we're all feeling this year.
It allowed them to produce a single sound.
Number 2, some good news.
On a personal note, this week actually brought a whole lot of good news because it marked 15 years since this haircut was born.
By the time March of 2020 rolled around, we were all desperately in need of some good news. So when actor John Krasinski produced a segment from home simply titled Some Good News, it quickly garnered millions of fans.
There is a network of people that are not only keeping their companies afloat, they're keeping this country alive.
The program was such a hit that it spawned many episodes, but Krasinski eventually sold it to Viacom CBS. Though this decision left many fans upset, of course Krasinski couldn't continue producing the show indefinitely, and is just happy to get to see it live on, being broadcast to an even wider audience.
In Kansas City, something magical is happening. In order to keep their neighborhood spirits high, the Perry family is raising their daughter even higher.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions. An unwanted visit from the demon Matt Damon. The Jimmy Kimmel-Matt Damon feud continues.
Excuse me?
What did you just say?
I was telling the audience that I'm going to be off this summer.
What does that mean, off?
Bill de Blasio tribute. This guy really loves his mayor.
Bill de Blasio, the mayor guy. Bill.
Sports commentator dogs. This man narrates his dog's interactions like they're a sporting match.
But Olive, focused, relentless, tasting absolutely nothing. Mabel trying, but surely a lost cause. Her title defense coming to an end. Olive taking everything. Nothing left but the bowl to lick now.
COVID-19 time traveler. A comedian in early 2020 gets a visit from her future self.
You should get a dog. I want a dog. You know I want a dog. They're a lot of work, and you've got to walk. You got to go outside with them twice a day.
Right. The walks are going to be clutch.
Right, but I mean, I have to leave them because I have so much travel coming up.
Judi Dench's advice. This dame doesn't take herself too seriously.
Just keep laughing. That's all we can do.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, that Imagine video.
Day 6 in self-quarantine. And I gotta say that these past few days got me feeling a bit philosophical.
It's perhaps ironic that the funniest video to come out of 2020 so far was meant to be incredibly serious. After feeling a little philosophical, actor Gal Gadot got a bunch of her celebrity buddies together to sing a cover of John Lennon's iconic song Imagine.
Imagine there's no heaven.
The intent was to create something inspirational that would bring people together during a difficult time, but the video itself was awkward and stilted, while the message was lost in translation. It certainly didn't help that most average people don't feel much of a kinship with celebrities at this time, considering just how different the 1%'s quarantine experiences are.
And the world will be as one.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.